Hello everyone and welcome to day 4 of the Honeybee Stamps spring release. All these products will be available on February the 22nd at honeybeestamps.com. First up, I want to share our spring release freebie with you. These are our beautiful pre-made card panels. They're so easy to use. Now these freebies are while supplies last, and they are added into your order of $75 or more. They are double-sided, and I'm just going to kind of scan through these. Some of them have sentiments, some of them don't, but they're pre-cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to lay out all these beautiful patterns and colors, perfect for spring, all different types of cards, whether you need a masculine card or more feminine designs like those beautiful tulips there. But this little pack has a little bit of everything from florals to geometrics. You can see the cute little dandelions with wishing you the best. Lots of beautiful florals. And as I mentioned, some of these have sentiments and then some of them don't, like this one. So it's super easy to add a buzzword from our buzzword collection or any sentiment that you may already have in your card making stash. But these little freebies make it so easy to put together a quick card. Now, first up for today, I have the Floral Vase stamp set. I am in love with this beautiful but fun stamp set. It's so fun to create with this one. It has a vase full of flowers, and you can see the two other little floral stamps there. That is to add dimension into your bouquet. There's a die set that includes the dies for the vase, the two little extra florals, and then there's the little cards there, and of course the little floral stake that slips down into your bouquet just like it came from the florist. There's also a stencil set, so if you like to brush on color with your ink blending brushes, there's a stencil set to make it really easy to color that bouquet. You can see that there is etched lines, so it's super easy to line that up all the way around your bouquet, and then you can kind of color in the flowers and the little stems and leaves as you'd like there. So you can see the little cutout parts. There's also a great sentiment set, small card, big hug, and this fits in with the dies that are included in that floral vase die set. But you can see hug, hooray, enjoy, thank you. So lots of little things that you would add on to a card when you're going to send flowers to someone. Now there's also this great foil set that has a lot of those sentiments from that small card big hug stamp set. So you can see all those little foil plates there. It's so fun to foil and add some shimmer and shine onto your small cards there and slip those with that little floral stake into your bouquet. So here's a card that I created using every bit of that floral vase collection with the exception of the stencils. I used Copic markers here, but you can see I used the extra floral stamps and the coordinating dies to add dimension to the front of my bouquet. I've also used that cute little floral stake and foiled happy birthday onto my small card and tucked that right into my bouquet. Next is our Seeds of Kindness stamp set. I love these vintage seed packet designs. There are sentiments in this set, but there are seed packet designs for tulips, lavender, strawberries, and lemons. There's also a coordinating die set that's going to cut out the sentiments, plus those banners that stretch across each design. There's a standalone seed packet die, so you can use that to stamp on top of, like Brenda has done here. You can see each of those designs in her little seed packets, the lavender, the tulips, the lemons, and the strawberries. And you can either add this to the front of a card, or you could use these standalone for little favors or gifts, or add that onto a little gift bag. But there's lots of different options here with our Seeds of Kindness collection. Now next up is a new stencil, and this is the Scattered Seeds stencil. And you can see it's very whimsical, it's very fun. It looks like little seeds blowing in the wind or maybe confetti. Here Bobby has used that stencil design on a background with her floral vase. I just love how she has put this design together. Now let me share with you our brand new paper pads. This is our modern spring paper pad. You can see those beautiful peaches and grays and greens, and I'm going to use my little pick tool here and open the adhesive on the edge of my paper pad so I can open this up and give you the full look. These are some beautiful patterns, textures, and colors. There's a little bit of everything in this paper pad with sage green, geometrics, and florals. There are peachy tulips and really fun kind of mid-century modern designs there. There are linen pieces of paper that give that really nice texture. There's wood grains, gray, and I love those little dandelions that look like they're blowing in the breeze. There's wood grain there and some more florals. This is a beautiful paper pad and beautiful collection here. Now we also have our brand new Gingham Galore Spring Edition. This is everything yummy, pastel, and light springy colors. There are pinks, there are peachy colors, goes into yellow and kind of a creamy color into greens, blues, and purples. There's even kind of a cantaloupe light pinky color. It starts all over again. We'll do a quick little flip through there of that beautiful Gingham Galore spring paper pad. The Ginghams are some of my absolute favorites. There's also an envelope collection that goes along with our modern spring paper pad. These are all self-adhesive, so all you have to do is peel back that easy backing strip there, and it reveals the adhesive underneath, so you just seal up your card creations and slip those right into the mail. There's always a design on the outside as well as a coordinating design on the inside, and all of those go with that modern spring paper pad. Now this is our modern spring gem stickers. I love these. They match the paper pad and the envelopes perfectly. There's 3 sizes in each color, a large, medium, and a small. These are our new True Pearls adhesive stickers. I am in love with pearls, and I love that these have the adhesive on the back. This is our cool pearls, so grays, blacks, silvers. Our warm pearls, which have darker brown tones and go into a creamy tone. I love those with the florals. And then today I'm going to create a card using that Seeds of Kindness stamp and die set. I'm going to cut out just of some white paper that seed packet die, and you just need to decide where exactly you want to stamp your image and where you want the flaps that are going to close the top of that. If you want to add any florals in the top, or you want to add actual seeds in there to give as a favor or anything like that, you just need to decide where you want to stamp your image for your seed packet. So I am using the tulip stamp and some of my honeybee stamps, Be Creative Intense Black ink, and I also used my honeybee stamps pressure tool, and that gave me a really nice stamped image. I'm going to do some Copic coloring on these tulips. I'm going to color the tulips in kind of a peachy spring color. I love those, and I'm just going to color these very quickly. I'm always an easy peasy color. I like to make it easy on myself, but make it look cute, nothing fancy. So I'm adding a dark color down towards the base of each tulip, and then filling in the top section with a lighter peachy pink color. So I'm just going to go around each of the petals and do that, not doing a whole lot of blending because I kind of want those little strips or swipes of color there on the bottom half or the darker side. Once I get the blooms and the petals of the tulips all done, I'm ready to move on to the leaves. And I start out with 2 shades of green. So I'm going in with the darker shade to color in kind of the base or the bottoms of those leaves. And then I'm going to go in with a lighter color towards the top. Now, when I finished the leaves, I wanted just a little bit more depth and dimension and to go just a little bit darker with the leaves. So I do go in with an even darker green just to darken up some of the shadowed and some of the base parts or bottom parts of those leaves. After adding in the darkest green to the leaves, I also use the darker green to color those decorative little swirls around the edge of the design. And then so the background of this behind the tulips is not just a stark white, I took a really light kind of minty green marker, and I am just giving it a wash of color there on the background. And you can see how that just a little bit of time makes those tulips really pop, and I love that minty green kind of there in the background. I made that color darker towards the banner, and it faded out lighter as it got towards the bottom and the top there where the tulips are. I used some really heavy duty tape runner to adhere the little flaps of the seed packet together, and then I brushed on some antique linen distress oxide around the edges, and this just gives that white paper the look of being a little more vintage, so it's just not a stark white background around that beautiful tulip design. Now I'm picking out my paper here from that Gingham Galore spring paper pad. That's a mouthful there, but I love this kind of peachy gingham paper, and that's going to pair so well with my tulips. I also choose one of the sage green florals from the modern spring paper pad. So I'm just going to pull those out, and I can trim those down and add those on to the card base for my tulip card. So I adhered a small strip of that floral there to the gingham paper and then cut both of those out with my scalloped and stitched rectangle die, so you can see there to the left. But I thought it would be so much fun to use some of that coordinating paper and our gardening apron add-on die set. It creates the most cute little gardening tools. You can see the watering can, and I'm pulling out the little gardening tools, the spade and the little rake and all the little pieces, and I'm going to tuck those down into my cute little seed packet. So it's so much fun to be able to get more use out of older product and kind of mix and match things. And so it was so fun to find all these gardening dies in my collection and be able to use those with my Seeds of Kindness seed packet. So I cut each of those little tools out of craft cardstock, and I'm just using a gray Copic marker. And I'm sorry, I'm a little bit off screen there, but I've used a gray Copic marker to color the ends of those like they have metal ends with wooden handles. And so I'm doing that. You can see my little gardening gloves there at the top that I have cut out of some of that modern spring cardstock, and all of those little pieces are going to coordinate together because it's all from the same paper pad. So it's so nice to be able just to coordinate everything together. And after I get all of those colored and some little details added on, I can tuck those right into the top of my little tulip seed packet. So once I get everything kind of set up and I figure out where everything's going to go, I'm going to work on that little banner that stretches across the front for the spring tulips. And I have stamped that and cut that out with the coordinating dies. You can see I've just stamped those on to craft cardstock, and to cover up the little edges there where you can see the craft cardstock on the edge, I just added a little bit of dark gray Copic marker that kind of blends there with the black stamping ink. and it kind of just makes those edges seamless and more cohesive there. So I'm going to get these added on to the front of my seed packet, and I'm going to use a little bit of the tiny little narrow foam strips to add and give a little bit of dimension to those. So you can pop up your little banner, and that is so cute, just popped off of the front of that little seed packet there. So I'm going to add the small piece onto the larger banner. And sorry, I'm pulling the really close to my eyes, up close to me, so I can see exactly where to line that up. So I'm sorry that was so low on the screen there. And then I'm going to add the whole banner to the front of that seed packet with a little bit of liquid adhesive. And I'm using my tweezers just to kind of move that and shimmy that into place before that liquid glue sets up. And it just fits right over where that banner is on the seed packet. It is those dies, the coordinating dies for that banner, cut really, really close to the stamped line. So there's none of that traditional edge or the little gap, so to speak, around the stamped image. It is right up close to that stamped line. So to decorate and add a little bit more of the gardening and kind of a rustic vintage feel to the card, I added a little bit of really fine jute and just kind of crisscrossed that and tied it into a little bow there. And that's going to go kind of in the background across those pattern papers. I'm going to use a craft cardstock for my card base, and that's going to blend and go nicely with those little tools and with the banner that's stamped across the front of the seed packet. And now I can add that little packet onto the front of my card panel. So once I get everything adhered down, I'm going to use some of the warm pearls, and I love this kind of champagne off-white creamy color to add on to this kind of vintage seed packet. It really goes nicely with that antique linen that I brushed around the edges, so everything looks a little vintage, a little creamy. It's so nice, and I added just a little bit of shimmer into those tulips, and then this card is all done. I love the look of that seed packet with the apron add-on gardening tools. I think that's such a cute die set to coordinate right along with those cute seed packets. So I hope you have enjoyed all the products of our Modern Spring release, available February 22nd at honeybeestamps.com. Make sure you check out all of our social media, see all of the amazing designs from our design team, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.